Hey, what's going on, y'all? So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to set up an automated sales pipeline within GoHighLevel. And the whole benefit of this is you don't have to waste time clicking through all the nodes and moving leads here and there. Instead, it is entirely automated. It updates for you so you get live KPI measurements down to the second they're taking place within your sales process. So what you're looking at here is an AI-driven model. So I use AI appointment setters, so this really helps to complement the AI appointment setters, especially when I'm building them out for clients so they're able to see all their KPIs just right in front of their face. So what we're looking at here is a pipeline that I personally set up that's automated. So if and when a lead does come through my pipeline, they're denoted as new lead here, and then I have a wait stage before the AI actually reaches out. If and when the wait stage is satisfied and the AI does reach out, they'll be denoted in the AI reached out section. Then of course, if the lead replies back to the AI, either off the first go around or after those follow-ups, then they'll be denoted in the talking with AI section, in which the AI is going to start chopping it up with the lead, having a conversation, and trying to push them towards the sales objective of booking a sales call. Once the sales call has been proposed and the booking link has been dropped, then they'll be put in the call proposed section. And then of course, if and when the lead actually books the appointment, then they'll be thrown in the appointment book section. And then I also have just a bank that I kind of set for dead leads that never replied back to me even after several follow-ups. So anyways, we're going to go through from start to finish an entire example today. So we're going to start off by building a fresh pipeline. The cool thing about pipelines is, you can literally write out whatever. I mean, this part is just very variable because it doesn't have any actual impacts until you set up backend automations to make these impactful. Okay, so what I set out here is a very general pipeline that you can set up that'll be great for a sales team. So just to kind of talk you through it, what we're going to set up is, assuming that a lead came from one of your opt-in pages, we're going to denote that opted-in lead as a new lead, in which we're going to send them an automated message. And I'm also going to show you how I kind of make mine AI-driven, but we're not going to get too much into the AI side of things today because it's about pipelines. And then if and when the lead replies, they'll be denoted as lead reply. And then the AI is going to specifically be talking with the lead. And then if and when the call gets proposed, we're going to denote them as call proposed, meaning they're a little bit more warm. And the benefit of this also is we can get into more intensive follow-up sequence. So let's say if they're talking with the lead here, when the call is proposed, we'll have more intensive follow-ups. Let's say every 2 hours, we kind of just hit them up really aggressive and be like, hey, do you book in yet? Whereas with this sequence, it'll be a lot more modest, maybe 24-hour follow-up. If and when the appointment is booked based on the sales calendar trigger that I'll show you guys how to set up, then they'll be put in appointment booked. And this will also greenlight a post-booking confirmation sequence. If and when they do confirm their booking, then they can be updated within appointment booked. And then I'll also show you guys how to set up an automation. So based on the time in which the appointment takes place, after that, then we can move the lead into the call had section. And then, like I said earlier, the no reply bank. And then I know I said this is all automated, and it is, but the one thing that you can add that's manual that helps to update your opportunity value and see how much money you're actually making, assuming you have a human actually taking these sales calls, this part's going to be kind of manual, but what you're going to have to do, so it'll move them automatically from appointment section to call had. So we know that this lead already had their appointment. What happened after the fact? We can move them in lead one, and then we can set up an automation to associate that with your ticket price to know how much money you actually made, and this will also help to confirm your conversion rate. So let's say you have a $5,000 offer. If we throw the lead tile within lead one, then it'll automatically update your opportunity value to $5,000 cash collected. What you can even do after that for a lead lost, let's say you want to nurture them after, or they're a no-show, you can do no-show nurture sequence, and then you can continue to hit them up with automated follow-ups just to see if we can get them back on that sales call. And then this is just a look into it. It's honestly super straightforward to set these pipelines up because you're just writing and stuff. The intricacies actually just come in the automation section, new lead opt-in section. And for every single event we're going to be building today in the pipeline, I'm actually going to set up a separate workflow. You can combine a lot of these, but the reason we're doing this is so we have proper separation, especially when you're looking to troubleshoot or if you're looking to edit something specifically within the pipeline. I found this to be a really straightforward and easy way to actually go about doing that. So what we will do, though, I will say, is we're going to kind of pitch this off to the next scenario. So we can do a couple that are 2-in-1. So let's say we get a new lead opt-in. We're going to write an SMS message to text that lead that just opted in. Hey, thanks for opting in. Reply back if you want to book a sales call. Obviously you wouldn't want to say this specifically, but this is really just to show an example of something you could do. So what you'd want to set up after this. So we just sent this automated reply. And remember, this is an AI channel, guys. So I will immediately implement an AI appointment setter onto this. And my AI appointment setters usually go based off of tagging conventions. So I'd add like an SMS AI tag here. So we got that set up now. So when a lead does come in, they'll now be AI driven, assuming they reply to this. And I'm also going to add another tag just so I know that this is the YouTube example, because I don't want my previous automations to clash with this current setup. So they'll get 2 tags set up now. And now what we're going to do is a wait stage, and we're going to specifically wait for a reply. So if contact replied to above SMS message, and then we're also going to set a timeout here if they don't reply within 1,443 minutes. And if you don't know, if you're new to this channel, I always set mine up on obscure time factors so it doesn't seem like it's an automation. It doesn't seem like it's a perfect time. Imagine if you got a text at 2:05 p.m., then the next day you got in a follow-up text at 2:05 p.m. It just doesn't make sense. So this way it kind of masks it. 1,440 is the specific time for 24 hours, so it doesn't even have to be like that. You could also do like 1333 or something. But the whole idea is after that timeout takes place, you could hit them up with a follow-up message, follow up, and then just type whatever, so they'll receive that follow-up, and you can just continue to build these out. It's crazy. Watch, I'll show you. This is how I'll often set mine up. So contact reply to the follow-up, timeout, and then we'll do like this time 2 days later, based on minutes. And then again, you could just keep doing this all day. It's awesome. We'll do follow up to. Okay, so I'm not going to add any more, but you get the gist. You could just continue to add follow-ups until you get that reply. Now, assuming the contact does reply, for myself, I'm not going to get into it too much in this video because I have so many different videos on building out AI appointment setters, but what this would act to do is initialize the actual AI conversation. So I've already got that set up in a separate workflow. What you would do if you don't have like a workflow set up, you just click add to workflow and then throw it into whatever workflow you want for your reply. I have mine set up based on the specific tagging convention to automatically handle replies based off the tag, so I don't got to worry about adding one here. But even if you have a human appointment setter, this is still applicable because we are still able to track that the contact actually replied. So then you go into create opportunity, and then in pipeline, we're going to go to our pipeline once more, and then the lead had just replied to us. Awesome. So we're going to denote them as lead replied, talking with AI. And then this will also remove them from being subject to receiving follow-ups. So just to show you guys once more, we're going to do that here as well. So now going back, the next thing we're going to do is do the call propose section, assuming they make it far enough in conversation. So I want to show you guys an example of how you can actually go about setting this up, because it can get a little complex. Again, if you've seen any of my AI videos before, then this is going to make a lot more sense. But let's go into a webhook reply sequence where the AI is actually responding back. But just for some context, what this is doing, so when the lead replied a second ago, it got thrown into my double text handler, so I can handle double, triple text if they reply with multiple messages. Then I'm shooting a webhook off to make.com to generate the reply, and then make.com is sending me back a payload with the reply for me to send over to the lead, and then I'll throw them in a follow-up section action. So what you're looking at here, so assuming that we change the custom value over from OpenAI, so we got the GPT assistant response message, and we're now going to send it through and actually send the message. So you saw I added the SMS AI, that's kind of my passkey here. So what we're actually going to be doing is setting up a new branch. So I'll go ahead and set that up now. And so this is how you're going to set up specifically for call bookings. So I'll put call proposed. So we're going to still add the tags to make sure that this is like a viable lead based on the tagging convention. Includes, and then we'll do SMS AI. And then we're also going to say and. So remember, the trigger is GPT assistant response change. So we're going to find our GPT assistant response. So what this is going to do is scan for the specific message that just got generated contains, and then you're going to put your specific URL for your calendar booking page, right? Whatever that may be, you're obviously going to know. For me, on this example, we're going to do scaleagents.io/rundown. I'll even throw, you see, you don't even have to do HTTP, because when it says contains, if just this at face value is in there, even if there's like, bullshit afterwards, it's specifically going to read for this and be like, awesome. So that's been satisfied. So we can actually just leave it at that. And then click save action. So another thing to consider also now, so we have multiple branches set up. If we have the SMS AI tag and we're sending the URL link, then it's going to go through this node for the reply. If not, then it's going to go through one of these other nodes, right? That's basically what we're doing here. But just to keep this example straightforward, so call propose, so we're now going to send over the SMS message, and the SMS message is actually going to contain that call booking, of course, over from our AI. And then the main thing that's changing here is because the call got proposed, we are now able to add the lead to our updated pipeline, call proposed, and that's really how you go about automating it. So at this point now, assuming that they made it far enough conversation, they asked for the booking link or the AI just dropped them the booking link, call proposed, bada bing, bada boom. And so another thing that I'll do, so I'll have a follow-up SMS sequence. So for the normal reply, so assuming it's just a basic reply, we're still trying to lead up that conversation. So this follow-up sequence will take them on a 24-hour follow-up wait time, but I'm going to go ahead and copy it over. And then another thing that you can actually do instead is do like 1.6. I don't even have a 1.6 in there. So we're going to go ahead and build that. So I'm going to show you guys how to set up a proper follow-up sequence for this now. So I'll just go ahead and delete this for the time being so I can actually do a successful save. Perfect. So let's go ahead and create one. So I'm going to duplicate this just so I can also show you guys the innards of my follow-up. We're going to call this one 1.6. I'm going to blur the webhook, but basically what we're doing here is sending this to make.com. So because this is a 1.6 now, we're going to change the time factor to a little over 2 hours. Click save, update, and then you could also edit the context over on make.com's end. But the whole idea is that we're just sending up a follow-up way faster than before. So now going back into our webhook reply section, with leads that are indeed within the call propose section, we can do add to workflow and then 1.6 and then add them to the 2-hour workflow now. So they've gotten the booking link, so now we're really going to hound them to try to get them to book in. So in essence, that's how you can go about doing that. Okay, now moving on, we're going to create a new workflow. So now that the call has been proposed, we have to set up our trigger for the booking links. And so we're going to do appointment, customer booked appointment, and then we're going to do in calendar, choose your calendar. And this one is extremely easy as well. So they just booked in the appointment, perfect. We're going to update the value. So we're going to say YouTube pipeline and then booked appointment. And then we don't have to stop there either. I'm going to go ahead and save this. So now we can initiate a confirmation sequence. So we can say SMS, and then we can be like, hi, contact name, we've got your appointment slot, or let's say meeting slot secure on our end. Here's the details, and then we can go through here and then do appointment, start date time, meeting link, and then this will send them Google Calendar link or the Zoom link, depending on how you have yours set up. Good to go there. And then what I like to do, so we got their appointment confirmed, blah, blah, blah. Little wait stage, just so it seems like you went in and reached out after the fact. This is really going to help with building some authority and accountability behind them actually showing up to the sales call, right? So now be like, hey, what's up? This is Scott. But the whole point here is to kind of position this appointment booking as a bit scarce, like, oh snap, I was able to book in, I need to maintain my time, so I need to confirm back yes, right? So we want them to reply back yes. That's the whole point of this. And now we have a wait stage, so we're going to set up a wait once again for them to reply. And so if they reply back to SMS, I know it says it twice, I just know based on, so we'll do SMS 2 just so you guys understand. SMS 2, so we'll do, actually, you know what, no, here's what we're going to do instead. So I kind of got ahead of myself. So it's going to be important actually that we have this in a separate node just to make sure that there's no messiness. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is back out of here and build us out our confirmation sequence that takes place. And trust me, this is just going to help with making sure that everything is separated properly. As I said, it really helps with troubleshooting or preventing a lead getting gunked up in the system. So SMS confirmation sequence. Okay, cool. No need to do a trigger here because the trigger will be adding them to the workflow. So I'm just going to back out and finish what we were doing in the appointment book section now that we have this one set up. Okay, now going back in appointment booked, we're going to do add to workflow and then we're going to add them to that new SMS sequence that we just set up. I got a ton of SMSs in here. SMS confirmation sequence, awesome. Send them through there, and then we're also from then going to say wait. And from here on out, it's important we do this within here because it's tied to the event reminders. So we're now going to send up event-related follow-ups, and this is going to be separate from the confirmation. So event appointment time, it's going to set up a number of different time factors. I like to do 24-hour follow-ups and then like a 2-3 hour follow-up right before. So one day before, we're going to send a follow-up. Now, if you notice, within this, it says skip all outbound communication acts till the next event start date. Basically meaning, let's say a lead hypothetically books in within the 1 day period. They would not be subject to receiving this, and it'll parse them either directly through and that's it, or it'll push them, to the next wait stage. And it also understands to mitigate the SMS text. That's what it means by outbound communication. So we're going to send out a text here. 24-hour reminder. Obviously, name it something more tailored, but I'm just doing this so you understand what exactly we're going for here, just because this is a tutorial after all. So now it's going to push through here, and it's going to send that reminder, and then we're going to set up an additional wait. This wait will be based on event as well. This one will be 2 hours before, and then we'll do another SMS text reminder 2 hours, and then reminder 2 hours appointment. So basically what I'm saying is if they book in within 24 hours, it'll understand to parse them through, and then they'll be halted at the wait stage, and then they'll still be subject to receiving that 24-hour reminder. So at this point, we've got the appointment booked. We have it confirmed that they booked the appointment in the pipeline, but now we need to get the actual appointment booking confirmed in the sense that they reply back yes, right? And so we know that we need the reply back yes because we asked them for it here. So another thing we actually need to set up prior, just realize we're also going to add a tag. And this tag is just to denote the appointment is booked. And this is going to be favorable for us anyway, so do I have a note in here? Lead booked. Perfect. So you can name it whatever, but make sure you have a tag because this is also going to keep things from getting messy. In my opinion, it also just helps with organization as well. So that tag is going to be important for the pass key. I actually lied also. We're going to set up a trigger within here, and this is just to make sure that everything's set up properly. So we're going to do customer replied. So we're just looking for a reply, and the channel, of course, is going to be via SMS. And we're going to make sure that they have that tag so that, this scenario only gets invoked when they actually do have that tag. And then, let's see, booked. And then we're going to take it one step further. Contains phrase yes, lowercase yes, and then all caps yes. So if they've straight up replied yes in general, perfect. So, technically speaking, you don't have to do the add workflow anymore. Sorry, trust me, I'm sitting here building workflows all day. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. I like to build these from scratch, on recording with you guys so that we're on the same page. I've recently set up an add to workflow one, but that just also goes to show the beauty of automations. I'm not sitting here trying to seem like the perfect human, because let's be real, even when it comes to development work, there's always room for improvement. I'm always learning, always growing. Sometimes it just takes a few tries as far as you guys setting up automations. As you can see, when I'm building automations out from scratch, my mind is constantly running. I'm like, oh, wait, no, I should add that, or oh, I should add this back. So customer replied, they replied yes, and they have that lead booked. So we know that this is the confirmation sequence in which they indeed confirmed their booking with us. So because they replied yes, they have that tag, so they have everything we need in order to guarantee that this is indeed a booked lead and they're confirming their slot. So we're now going to move them over to appointment confirmed. And then we'll even send up a follow-up text and be like, thanks for confirming. Talk soon. Again, you can make this literally whatever you would like. Publish that. Bang. Okay, so now going back over to the appointment booked. At this point, they have their appointment book slot. They've confirmed the booking, and now we're going to set up our trigger to actually move them over into the pipeline call had. And again, what that pipeline means is essentially like call's been had. All right, we got to decide what's next. Did we win the lead? Did we lose the lead? Do we need to do more nurturing on them? So what we're going to do, so appointment time, instead of before, we're going to do after. And let's say the call usually goes 30 minutes. We're going to do 30 minutes after then. And all we're going to do, so this is now 30 minutes after the appointment has just been had, we're going to go back to our YouTube pipeline, and then we're going to put them in call had, move accordingly. Just to go back over to the pipeline side of things, what this is going to do, so we've moved them through all these sections, call has been proposed, appointment's been had. So now it's up to us to either manually move them into lead 1 or lead lost, and if they go into lead lost, you can do additional nurture sequence. The sky's the limit with automations, that's why I love it. So now I'm going to show you guys how to set up appointment values to basically have like a specific financial figure associated with if you win the client. For instance, if you have a $5,000 offer, this is how you would go about doing that. So lead 1, and then within here you'll do changed. We're going to do opportunity changed. And then we're going to do in pipeline, YouTube pipeline, and then pipeline stage is lead 1. So that is our trigger. When a lead gets moved into the lead 1 pipeline, then we are going to, we're not going to, I guess we will update this, yeah. So YouTube pipeline and then lead 1 as well. And then specifically, we're going to add our opportunity value of $5,000. And then you can also select status as won or lost. So in this case, if you did 1, I just want you to note that GoHighLevel has it so where this will automatically remove them from the pipeline. However, it'll still be on the dashboard as lead that's 1. In fact, it also shows them as a converted lead at that point if you're tracking your conversion rate. So for the sake of this, we're going to also update that status as 1. And that's literally all you have to do with that. And now we'll do lead lost. And then it's going to be the same trigger, so changed, and we're doing opportunity changed. Once again, in pipeline, YouTube pipeline, and then pipeline stage, lead lost. And then in here now, we'll do opportunity update. So really what you can do here, if you want to remove the lead from the pipeline based on lead lost, then you would do status of lost. However, we're not going to do lost here because, like I said, 1 and lost will pull you from the pipeline. So we're just going to go ahead and leave that for now. No need to do anything with that. But now that they've been moved over into this section, we could do an SMS flow and be like, hey, saw you didn't show up to our meeting. Want to reschedule? Again, like, the beauty of automations, if you can think it, you can do it, right? I'm not going to sit here and hold your hand on the copy to write, but that's how you'd go about setting this up to have a lead that actually goes through and discusses with you. And you could even set up like a timer. I know we have that follow-up bank, so you could even do here like a wait stage. Let's go wait. And then you could say contact reply to the SMS message, set out a timeout. So if they don't reply after like, I don't know, we'll just put a massive time. So after like several days, they don't reply, then you can update the opportunity, and then you could put them in that bank where they never hit you back. No reply after follow-ups. And you could even do this, let me show y'all. You could even do this off of the initial message where we're trying to hit the lead back and we're trying to get them to actually show up off of the opt-ins. This is typically how I'll set mine up too. And to give you an idea, I know I went through on this opt-in page just to show a couple follow-ups, but on mine, I'll have like 4 follow-ups over like a week period. And if they continue to not get thrown into the contact replied section, then on the very, very last follow-up I'll do, we're shit out of luck at this point because they've never hit us back. So I'll just denote them as no reply after follow-ups. Okay, perfect. I know I went through a lot, so let's get into a live example now that we have everything set up, and I'll show you guys how exactly it works. So going over on the form that I have as the trigger, the opt-in form, we're just going to put in example@gmail.com. And then I'm just going to put in my personal phone number, so I'm going to blur this out, and then I'm going to click submit. And now we've received that data. So over on our pipeline, it should now update perfect. So there I am. So if you remember, we got to note it as a new lead, and I just received the automated text from before. If you can read that, thanks. Hey, Scott, thanks for reply back. So what I'm going to do now is just send a reply. Hey, thanks. I'm interested, exclamation point. So I just texted back. And so if we just wait a second, it should update me into the Talking with AI section. There we go now. So now I'm just waiting for my AI appointment setter to actually reply back. But on the front end, I'm able to see that this is a replied lead that's now having an active conversation. And then, of course, there will be follow-ups that take place as well with this specific lead. Okay, perfect. So the AI sent over the booking link, and then they got moved into call proposed section. So at this point, what I'm going to do now is go ahead and book in my call. So they sent me over the appointment calendar, mind you. All right, so I just submitted the details to book my appointment. So now here in a second, we should see the appointment confirmation come up on this end. Let's go ahead and do shift here. There we go. So appointment booked. And now it's going through and asking me, based on our automated message, it's saying, we've got your appointment slot confirmed. And now it's asking me to reply back yes, or it hasn't yet, but so I just texted yes to the workflow, and it just said, thanks for confirming, talk soon. If we move back over here now, so cool, we have our appointment confirmed. Now, this next part, I'm just going to manually move over because I booked into a time in the future. So call had, perfect. So now, assuming that the lead was a no-show from the appointment after the fact, simply move them over to this tile. And then this will send an automated message at this point. Say I just got one saying follow up. Hey, you didn't book in, want to reschedule? So that's how that would work. And then if I never replied after all those follow-ups, I'd be put in this section. And then lastly, for lead one, this is how that would look. So like I said, if you put won or lost, it automatically removes leads from the pipeline. So I just refreshed. As you can see here, there's now no lead in the pipeline. However, they weren't lost or forgotten from the pipeline. This is just to clean it up. Now, if you go over to the dashboard section now under the YouTube pipeline, we're going to see a conversion of 5,000. And so this is also combining with some of my other calendar bookings, I will say. And that's why we're having 97 here. But the whole point that I do want to show is that the conversion rate. So when you have a lead as one for your specific pipeline, it'll update, and then it's a really good way just to track conversions. So I know I went through a lot today, but hopefully you found some value in being able to automate your pipeline and actually set up a successful one for you and your sales team to really interpret. It's really easy to use, and especially if you're deploying this for one of your clients, if you're a marketer like me and you're doing a GoHighLevel build, they're going to love this because the KPIs are insane, especially when you can set up like more honed in follow-ups on people that just need an extra little shove to actually book the call. It's just a really good way to view your KPIs quickly, and especially with the dashboard view for clients, it's just a really pretty thing to look at. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment down below. I always read all the comments and reply to them best I can. And if you're interested in booking 30 sales calls for the next 45 days with my team's help and actually getting you to the next level of strategy and using AI development tools, we currently are guaranteeing that we can get you these 30 booked appointments. All you have to do is click the link down below and book in a call with me, and we'll see if we can help you out. And on that note, I'll see you on the next video.